And so what I did was I traveled around and I visited some Orthodox Christians, and I also visited a few Orthodox churches, and I realized very early that that Orthodoxy is ethnic. There's Greek, there's Ukrainian, there is Estonian, there's Serbian, there's Russian. And I always sort of, no, I didn't always. I had recently become suspicious of denominations, and just the proliferation of denominations. And then when I realized there were more than a dozen autocephalous Orthodox bodies that are all defined by their ethnicity, I coined a term back then called denominationalism. That if there's one thing the new covenant isn't, that the old covenant was ethnic and nationalistic. It was Israel first. And it just struck me that when I went to a Greek Orthodox church, it was more Greek than I could be.
So he's as do many apologists and contemporaries who looked at Orthodoxy and walked away. He's looking at the ethnic character of Orthodoxy, and he's seeing this as inauthentic. And certainly, if there are in the Orthodox Church those who are embracing a kind of Judaizing mentality that one has to become something they're not, some ethnic group, in order to become a Christian, then that is anathema. But that's anathema to the Orthodox Church. Instead of realizing that the church has always been local, and that each community took on a particular character, and then each local church took on a particular character, and this was a strength and could be a great strength for the Orthodox Church because they enculturated deeply and redeemed and sanctified the culture. So if you would have gone back 100 years ago to a very nationalistic Roman Catholic country that has now become totally secularized in Europe, something like Spain or Italy or anything, they would have looked a lot like, and they would have been a lot like, culturally speaking, because he's looking at something superficial culturally, the Greek or the Russian or the Romanian. In fact, when they came over to America, they had very ethnic churches in North America. The only difference they had was a administrative imposed unity. But even the Unions who came over, and many of them became Orthodox in the 20s, they had a very ethnic approach, and they were part of the Roman Catholic Communion. So this is a very short-sighted and superficial critique that Dr. Hahn is engaging here. He had a little more historical depth and background, and he looked at things, how they developed in North America. He would see them in context and would not be scandalized by them. America is a very unique place in the history of the world. It takes people from all over the world, and they come here with many of them intending to go back to their old country. but they come here and they try to hold on to their identity in a melting pot community. So he could easily have seen this as a great strength, that the church was so powerful and is so powerful in the Orthodox places around the world that they meld into, and the identity becomes, it's incarnational. It takes on the whole community, the society, the culture, and it makes it all Orthodox. It makes it all Christian, and it becomes one. And it's very hard to pull those apart afterwards. And so for someone to become, it's like you're going to rip off the flesh of somebody to reveal the spirit, but it's impossible. You cannot easily separate Greek from Orthodox because it's been so embedded in the stones with the martyrs and the confessors for 2,000 years. And so when they come to America, of course, it's going to be a long process of implanting. They didn't come here as missionaries, Dr. Hahn. They came here as immigrants, as did many, many, many Roman Catholics. So this is an extremely superficial critique, and it's a tragedy that he didn't go deeper and see the faith, but he judged Orthodoxy so superficially to reject it.